and welcome to another episode of Out Nerdy. Well, the acolyte has certainly been causing a few disturbances in the force. Disturbances in the thread. So, let's be honest, episodes 1 to 3 have dropped. You've all seen it, right? You know the gist, you know fucking female space lesbians and whatnot creating a child out of thin fucking air. Right? The plot of the show so far is, after 3 episodes, it is Star Wars attempt at murder mystery. Poirot in space, Miss Marple with lightsabers. You know what I mean. And before we go any further, I'm in the camp of it's crap. I'll go into why it's not working for me. But let's get the good things out of the way first. They have some very good wide shots. Some of it cinematography looks really, really nice. The landscapes, when you see the castle in the background, that looks fantastic. That's about it. Right, so, basic gist of it is some mysterious assassin is hunting down Jedi. Why? Don't know. At least not yet. After 3 episodes. It's hinted that the Jedi did something, or they think they did something, wiped out a coven of witches. But then again, is that really a bad thing? Right? And that's it. We had Carrie-Anne Moss in it, and whose entrance to the show was, touted as such a big thing, and then she's killed within 10 minutes. And she's killed, I shit you not, seriously, she's killed by a knife. A fucking knife. This is the Disney Star Wars shows where you can survive being ran through by lightsabers and shrug it off like it's nothing. And yet a knife takes somebody out. Like, what? What? Now, let's just get on to the action. Anyone who's watched any of my videos, Warrior's my favourite show. I like martial arts. Now, we know Jedi are trained in unarmed combat. We see it in the Clone Wars. What works in animation doesn't necessarily translate to real life. We also saw it in the Clone Wars where you had Jedi in space who didn't need a helmet to breathe, at least for a small portion of time. And we saw in the Ahsoka show that Jedi in space clearly doesn't work. And I think the same can be said for martial arts. Martial arts with the Force might look brilliant. Get the choreographers from Warrior. Get some really good, talented fight choreographers. It might be good. This looks like CW produced show. It makes Batwoman look great. And I mean for everything with Batwoman. The acting, the writing, even the fight choreography. It looks great compared to this. Now, I know it was a homage to The Matrix because she was Trinity, but it looked wooden. It was slow. It looked like anything but martial arts. That's my opinion. You somehow made martial arts look boring. So anyway, she dies. Mysterious assassin kills her with a knife, and then she ticked her off the list. And then there's somebody else to come. Corbin. Anyway, he has a huge amount of guilt for something that we think he may have done. He thinks he definitely did. And she kills him by poisoning him. This dude's been in a force field for the last 20 years or whatever. She tries to attack him and the force field just, protects him. And then then she says you can either go to the Republic for your crimes or you can commit suicide. So he offs himself. Why? Don't know. Yes, it's going to be revealed, but as it happens, it makes no sense. These episodes, I think the first one was 40 minutes. So about 35, 34 minutes before all the credits. And the other two have been around about the half an hour mark as well before credits. So some Jedi are dispatched to look for this Jedi killer. It turns out they have a connection to someone in the past. She's the daughter of the space witches. Someone identifies the killer, but they arrest the wrong person. Her sister, who's working on a starship, and she's doing what the droids do in the Phantom Menace, basically. So the Jedi take her into custody. While she's in custody, another Jedi, Corbin is killed, and that's where we get up to episode 2. It's not great. I might not be describing it very well either, but I don't like this show. But I'm sticking with it because you've seen on my Obi-Wan episodes, I've pulled out comics. I have an investment in this franchise. I have Star Wars toys that my son will one day play with when he's a little bit older. So that's the first 2 episodes. They're hunting down who's trying to kill Jedi. Episode 3. Now that's the really big one. That's the creme de la creme of shite. Now, off the bat, we're 7 minutes in, so I should have said this at the beginning. If you like this show, great. I'm happy for you. I hope you're happy to acknowledge that I don't like the show and I don't like it for certain reasons. Right? Now, episode 3 is where, well, if you read, headlines from Forbes or whatever, it totally destroys Star Wars. Now, if you're a Disney Star Wars fan, it doesn't. It's fine. It's no difference of Disney Star Wars as there is with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That doesn't ruin the Arkham franchise, even though it does. The same thing here. We can pretend it doesn't exist, but it does. It fundamentally changes things. Now, what happens? Well, the witches' coven. Yeah, all female, because they're witches. Because witches are usually always female. And for some reason, twice in the episode, they use the word, women like us aren't welcome in the galaxy. Now, what does that mean? Is it because they're black? Is it because the witches? Is it because the women? Is it because they're using the Force, for unnatural purposes? We don't know. Now, maybe we'll find out, right? And I don't need to be spoon-fed everything all at once as a rule, but you've got to tell me why is that line so important you used it twice? Why was it used twice? But they don't say anything. We learn that one of the women carried the baby and strong female black woman made the baby. How? Don't know. Presumably somehow using the Force. Now, you might be wondering, wait a minute, haven't we had a virgin birth? Yes, we have. That's Anakin. But because we live in the fucking 2020 stupid period, we have to undermine everything that came before. So in Doctor Who, was never the Hartnell was not the first Doctor. No. It was, as we saw in The Timeless Children, little baby black girl. So they had to purposely, kill that character, kill that law. And now we have Anakin Skywalker's nothing special. It's implied that he is special because he's linked to a prophecy. Now, while this may not impact the prophecy of the chosen one, a virgin birth now, anyone can do it. If you've got a bit of magic in you, you can do it. If you're a witch, you can do it. So cheers for that. Now, people will say it doesn't ruin it. Why is it important to you? Well, why is it important that they had to do it? Yeah. So the two killer and suspect, they're the twin sisters that were born as virgin births. And I'm not being funny, but twins as enemies, is that not a bit cliched by now? Didn't Jean-Claude Van Damme do that in the 80s? Sure he did. You know? But anyway, that's how they came into being. They used the Force through unnatural means. Now, the Jedi obviously wouldn't be happy with this. And for some strange reason, I'm all over the show. Fuck it, bear with me. We saw at Star Wars Con, and indeed in other interviews, right, that the cast clearly have never seen Star Wars, read Star Wars, played Star Wars in any format. So we keep being told that there's no such thing as good and evil in Star Wars. Obviously, this is bollocks. We know this. But what they're trying to say in this show is good or bad. It's not about good or bad. It's about power and who wields it. All right. It goes out of its way to say Jedi are bad, but whatever. But I just want to point out, because of the moralistic point of view, we've always, good and evil. It's as old as fucking time itself. Right? In this, one of the sisters, it's a flashback, episode 3, so where they're going to become fully fledged witches. One of them wants to become a witch, the other one doesn't. Surprise which one threatens to kill the other. Not the one who wants to become a Jedi. So anyway, Jedi, they're doing the fucking dance and chanting. So anyway, we get a whole history lesson or whatever, or an alternative view of the Force, but they call it the thread. And they call pull the thread. Is that catchy? No. Will anyone remember it in 3 weeks? No. 6 weeks? No. 6 months? No. Will they remember, will the Force be with you? They will remember that. May the Force be with you. An iconic line that Disney had to shit all over. Sorry, it fucking did. Anyway, one wants to become a Jedi, one doesn't. The Jedi find a way into the fortressy thing that they've got on the edge of a cliff. They test them. One fails a test on purpose, one tells the truth. And towards the end, evil sister, because she is. So now you can say she's under the influence of another witch. I don't care. That just tells me your morals are fucked. But she says you're not going to leave and become a Jedi. And she says, why not? What? How will you stop me? And she turns around, she goes, I'm going to kill you. Now, is that a good moral? This is for children, remember? We keep being told Star Wars is for children, not for adults. All right. Why? What kind of lessons are you telling children here? I don't want you to do something, so I'm going to kill you. All right. Well done. That's essentially what it boils down to me. But anyway, she sets a fire. For some reason, everyone dies. The Jedi arrive just in the nick of time to save Osha, good girl number 1. While her sister dies. Presumably dies. We know she don't because she's the other killer. She's the killer. And then it ends. Now, a lot has been... You've seen other people's interview YouTube channels. You've seen, articles. Let's just get it out of the way. The space lesbians, I don't really give a shit about. It's nothing other than just why. There's a big question. Doesn't bother me, to be honest, because the show's bad without them. It might make it worse for some. It's a lot of explaining they have to do, All right, you're witches, but why do you have to be lesbians? Why is there no other children in this coven? So there is that. And it doesn't bother me because the writing's bad. It doesn't It doesn't pop, it doesn't sparkle. The bits that bother me are the thread. The thread bit is just, it makes no sense, and they don't even try to make it make sense. Because 1 minute they're saying the force, or some people call it the force. We know it as the thread. It's not to be used as a weapon, and then she, shows them how to do force pushing and stuff to use it as a weapon. And just while we're at it, why is every force movement done like it's a series of kung fu moves? Huh? It's just fucking ridiculous. Instead of them just going, push, they're waving their hands like they're in fucking Street Fighter and about to pull off a special move. Just do the movements. When let's be honest, we all do it. When we walk in a supermarket, we, do a little hand wave to open the door, even though we know it's not us. We don't do some big extravagant fucking thing, do we? No, you're just subtle, gentle. Granted, so no one else sees you and thinks you're a plonker, but that's beside the by. That's an irritant. You can't just use the force or whatever in a normal way. The thread, call it what you want, it's the fucking force. The writing is just boring. We've got Jedi that are being hunted, but you've not give us any reason for us to care that they're being hunted. Maybe you'd have done some kind of pre-episode or something to give us background into these characters. I don't care why Carrie-Ann Moss has been killed. I don't care why the Jedi are being hunted. You've not given me a reason to care. So the writing's bad. The direction is boring. It's the same formula as every other Star Wars show where very little happens in an half an hour period. So far, we've had 1.5 hours of Star Wars, and it's not, more's accomplished in an episode of fucking Miss Marple. And there you might have 2 murders, a teasing scene where they try and escape, or they're locked in the hotel room together. Then Miss Marple, out of nowhere, tells them who did it in the last 5 minutes. And as this is a kind of a murder mystery kind of thing, you let us know who the bad girl was fucking right away. You took any suspense out of it. It's just badly done. And all we get for saying that it's badly done is, oh, you just don't like women, or you don't like this, no. Give us good fucking writing. Give us good choreography. It's fucking Star Wars. Most people just want zoom on a fucking lightsaber and they'll be happy. But you can't even get that right. And also, before I wrap up, do the Jedi forget how to use the fucking Force or something? Because in the prequel trilogy, okay, you got super speed, and the Clone Wars, they're able to use the Force to control the landing. But then it's just the generic, pull, push. Maybe a bit of Force choke in Anakin sometimes. But they're in basic movements. But now the Force can do anything the writers need it to do. Why? Now we've got Force freeze like it's the fucking the sequel trilogy. No. Fucking stop adding. With every new Disney show, there's a new Force power. Just leave it alone. Less is more. Mystery is great. But the show's just rubbish. I've waffled on now for 19 minutes. I think I've been pretty detailed. I'm not just attacking the show for no reason. It just so happens to be there's more faults than good from, my point of view. Anyway, that's all for now. Take care. May the thread be with you. Ta-da.